Hey, this is Trevor Baker. I'm going to do this. This is 12 weeks. Just a little announcement here, I guess. I'm going to do this for a while, a few weeks. You take a break. And that's part of what I'm going to sing about tonight. I think people need to take a break from all the talk, all the trying to process everything, and actually talk to God and listen to Him. But I want to start with a song. It was Father's Day. And I guess I could entitle what I'm going to do tonight, I Don't Like Change. I know change has helped us. You know, we've got tires that work and they don't get flat like they used to. And there's some good things. But this song is about my dad. And my dad had a hard life. My dad was locked in rooms and beat up, and he stuttered really bad. And my dad, God gave my dad, and he helped my dad. And he calmed him. And in his older years, I know God gave him the peace. And God can do that for people that have been through hard things. Because I know there's folks out there like that. Can't put myself in other people's shoes, but I know God was big enough to help my daddy, big enough to help you. He was born in 1923 in an old stone house, and his childhood days were rough. He knew what it was to do without. There wasn't much to go around, and times were tough. When he was 12, they took him out of school, and he worked the farm like a man of twice his age. This is back when you got $1 for a day, and you were happy with your wage. In 58, he married Mama, and they began to raise their little family. 3 children came along, 2 girls, and in the middle there was me. And I sure looked up to Daddy. Wasn't nothing in this world he couldn't do. And even on a cloudy day, Daddy'd take my sky and make it blue. Yes, my daddy was a simple man. He never had a lot of words to say, but he made a deep impression on the man that sings to you today. And if you'd ever met him, wouldn't take you very long to see that when God was making daddies, He made an extra special one for me. When I was 8 years old, he taught me how to drive our little tractor down the lane. And I remember all those times when we were baling hay and got caught in the rain. And then he'd flash that great big grin and pat me on the head and call me sonny boy. Yes, there's one thing for certain, my daddy brought my life a lot of joy. Yes, my daddy was a simple man. He never had a lot of words to say, but he made a deep impression on the man that sings to you today. And if you'd ever met him, wouldn't take you very long to see that when God was making daddies, He made an extra special one for me. As he grew older, he would say, life's been good to me, I really can't complain. And I believe his faith in God helped him overlook his years of childhood pain. I love you is not something that he said a lot, but I know he really cared. And I'll treasure every moment on this earth me and Daddy shared. Then came that night in April when they called, said Daddy passed away. And all the memories filled my mind, and I wasn't sure exactly what to say. I guess God knew he'd done more than his share, and now had come the time for him to rest. And until that very moment, I never realized how much that I've been blessed. For my daddy was a simple man, he never had a lot of words to say. But he made a deep impression on the man who sings to you today. And if you'd ever met him, wouldn't take you very long to see that when God was making daddies, he made an extra special one for me. Yes, when God was making daddies, he made an extra special one for me. I'm not the only one that has a special daddy, I'm sure. And special daddies, lots of special daddies. And this song here is, people think I'm a little bit of an oddball, and it is what it is, okay? I struggle with technology, and I'm not sure, I appreciate some of the things it does. I use it for my music, and I can send my tracks to Nashville and whatnot, and they can send them back and use it for that. But people live in these phones. I keep saying that. They live in these things. And they're okay to use, but you don't live in them. I go in the gym sometimes on the road, and people got these things all in there, all the earbuds. They got them all in their ear. You can't even talk to people anymore. There's pictures of Christmas, where grandma's sitting there and she's on the couch and the whole family's on their phones. I mean, seriously, we got a problem here. And this song is called The Acute Computer Blues. I mean, it's a bit of a funny song, but, to TVs and computers, I'm not saying that you can't use them. You can preach on them, and you can do it. And there's some things you can watch, and but just easy does it, people. We don't live in these things. And, I heard one old rancher, he said, there's actually more TVs in homes than there are toilets today. He said, so there's more sewage coming in than there's going out. You got a point. But this song is just, it's called The Acute Computer Blues. And sometimes those things leave you with your head scratching. And you can spend your whole day just playing on the computer, trying to figure it out. And you wonder how much time was wasted there. Maybe I could have went for a walk. I know we need the things, but they've got us over a barrel today. You got to have these things when you're out down the road. You got to have a cell phone. It's like, part of me wishes I didn't live now and I lived back then. Sorry, call me weird, but that's who I am. My gigabytes are full from all the files that they've been eating. My mouse and my laptop had a spat, now aren't speaking. Got a virus, but my tablet's supposed to fix the whole thing up. The RAM I've got, they're telling me, ain't nearly big enough. Some bozo brain is spamming me. My email's about to crash. They say my biggest problem is my drive ain't got no flash. My burner won't burn nothing, and my stick's a USB. My password isn't working, and that spells the end of me. A terabyte's a term when I was thinking it was Barney. They say the stuff is here for good. You may as well just join the party. But I can't help but thinking that this world is up the creek when your needle-pointing grandma is a full-blown cyber geek. A computer's supposed to be the end to be all, but I think there ought to be a massive recall. We're going down the YouTube sliding fast. It's time we took a visit to the past. My Skype is awful blurry, can't imagine how that happened. And my Wi-Fi connection wouldn't work that night in Scranton. Google's making eyes at me, and MapQuest got me lost. They say I need an upgrade, it's really worth the cost. A garage band's supposed to be a thing you do in your garage. These things are here to solve our problems, but to me they're more the cause. When people get to tweeting, I'm afraid I'm lost for words. Is this progress gonna help, or is it just plain for the birds? My screensaver makes me dizzy, my pop-ups just won't close. It's the hottest day in August, and my internet is froze. Can't log in to do my banking, my hard drive blew a fuse. It may be I've contracted the acute computer blues. A computer's supposed to be the end to be all, but I think there ought to be a massive recall. We're going down the YouTube sliding fast. It's time we took a visit to the past. Remember when your favorite recipe didn't have to be downloaded? Every ad you saw was not completely sugar-coated. We played out in the backyard without an Xbox or a Wii. Used our own creativity for that house up in the tree. Had a swing made from a tire, a car that didn't beat, a 19-inch TV that didn't set you back a heat. Someone was online, they were talking on the phone. Pictures were in albums that were fit for being shown. Your friends weren't all on Facebook, see them every Sunday. High-speed hadn't been invented, who knew this was coming one day? People spoke to you in airports, had no earbuds in their iPods. Technology has changed us into glass-eyed staring dimwads. A computer's supposed to be the end to be all, but I think there ought to be a massive recall. We're going down the YouTube sliding fast. It's time we took a visit to the past. I didn't mean to bother you with all my high-tech issues. Besides, I need to run and buy another box of tissues. There's no real people on the helpline, just some automated clues. And it ain't much good for curing the acute computer blues. I was in Oregon at a little campground, nice little place. And this young married couple came in a couple of years ago. And I watched this performance happen. They got their tent all set up, you know, nice young married couple. And off they go. One goes over on the picnic table over there with the laptop, and the other one heads over there. And there they are, and they sit there for an hour and a half, 2 hours, separate, staring into this thing. And then they get up in the morning, same performance goes on. Off they go, spend an hour and a half. Do they even look at each other? I wonder. It's a bit of a problem. So this song here it's called I Don't Like Change. And I know there's some things we gotta do, but where's God come in? He's getting pushed out. That's what's happening. And voices on every corner, and all at our fingertips. And people are out there in panic in the streets, partly because we just watch too much stuff. We need to pull away. Talk to God. Listen to God. There's peace available, and He'll give it to you. This world will not give it to you. But anyway, this song here is just, once again, maybe you can write me off maybe after this, but I don't like change. I didn't mind when I was told to cut my hair. I'm okay when a tax man takes his share. But when they start messing with my brain, I get fed up and raise some cane. I'm sorry if that sounds a little strange, but I don't like change. I didn't mind when they paved the old dirt road. I muddled through when the country store was sold. But when they took down the old church signs and said I was behind the times, it wasn't long before they called me names. 'Cause I don't like change. I don't like change, especially when they're changing what I think. I don't like change. They start throwing out the kitchen sink. Take what once was wrong and make it right. This old country boy gets all uptight. I didn't mind when my friends all made a scene. Started laughing at my 32-inch screen. But when they trust Google more than God, I sure ain't giving them the nod. Yeah, I'll stand up and shout it from the stage. I don't like change. I didn't mind when the microwave came in. Sit-down family dinners took on the fast food spin. But when moving in and sleeping around no longer even brought a frown, I knew our world was getting all deranged. I don't like change. I don't like change, especially when they're changing what I think. I don't like change. They start throwing out the kitchen sink. Take what once was wrong and make it right. This old country boy gets all uptight. I didn't mind when Lawrence Welk went off the air, and I put up with their spiked and multicolored hair. When the signs changed on the bathroom door, I swear that day I hit the floor. In this life, there's only ever been 2 lanes, and I don't like change. I didn't mind when bell-bottom jeans went out. When my GPS decides to take me down another route. When they start killing babies off, I clear my throat and start to cough. That sure don't sound like home, home on the range. And I don't like change. I don't like change, especially when they're changing what I think. I don't like change. They start throwing out the kitchen sink. Take what once was wrong and make it right. This old country boy gets all uptight. Well, they say that Christians don't go making waves. If they had their way, I'm pretty sure we'd all be back in caves. Even if I'm Farmer Gus, I'm still allowed to make a fuss when they're trying every day to turn a page. Well, I don't like change. I don't like change, especially when they're changing what I think. I don't like change. They start throwing out the kitchen sink. Take what once was wrong and make it right. This old country boy gets all uptight. They take what once was wrong and make it right. This old country boy gets all uptight. The question is, what do we do when we get uptight? Well, we got a couple of roads we can take. We can take the road where we can start yelling and screaming at everybody. Even when things bother us, yeah, sometimes you have a moment like that. But that's not going to solve anything. Sometimes when I sing a song like I just sang, people go, yeah, tell them, you tell them, you tell them. No. There's just some things that they bother you. They do. But what you see many times in now, especially I've been a little bit on Facebook, and I don't want to spend much time on that thing. In the news, people yell and screaming. Everybody's mad at everybody. And then they'll talk about how to fix it. And this is, especially, this is a song called Will America Pray? And this goes for Canada too, where I live. But they'll talk about praying, they'll talk about it, they'll talk about this, they'll talk about that, we'll talk about it to fix things, but they don't do it. Most don't actually do it. It just becomes a bunch of empty words. It's like God Bless America playing in the background. But when do we actually get serious? And there was a time when the number one pursuit in America was to send the light all over the world. But now she's intoxicated in her own blessings. And the American dream is more important than following the God of this Bible. And newsflash, this Bible was around a long time before the Declaration of Independence. This is where we need, this is our source. We got to go way, way back here if we want to solve anything. If my people will humble themselves and pray, that's the only answer. I don't want to be too hard on folks. I know there's some wonderful Christians out there. But I've had people that in America that this song, and they'll say, yeah. So I'm going to finish with this. And, I was reading in the book of Acts, chapter 17, I believe it is there, and today, and I'm talking about all these people that would gather, and they spent all their time just listening to whatever new thing, or telling some new, whatever, just talking, listening to all the new ideas. And well, does that paint a picture of us today? What's he got to say? What's he got to say? What's he got to say? What the politician's going to say? What's the preacher going to say? It's not even important what Trevor Baker says. We need to hear from God. And that's why I'm going to take a break from this. And the world will still keep turning when I'm not on Facebook. And we need God.
We all know she has a lot to say, but will America pray?
It's staggering to think where this world would be today if there were no missionaries and no one ever prayed. The peace that we have left can be attributed to this. When the hand of God was moved, it took more than just a wish. Stories by the thousands, men and women who felt called to launch a thing much bigger than any militant assault. In the back rooms, in the closets, by their bedsides in the dark, the power they tapped into was sure to make its mark. The thought that lingers now, or at least the way it looks, it may be confined to history, something only read in books. The only thing to change that is conviction in the heart, and opened eyes to see that we're way past the time to start. Will America pray? Does she remember how? Will she begin today? Yeah, we're talking now. Will her knees still bend? Can her heart still ache? Are there any left who are still awake? We all know she has a lot to say, but will America pray? Time is of the essence, and I think we all know why. What's needed here today is not some casual reply. Will you answer if you're listening? Can we have a show of hands of those who aren't too busy with their dreams and foolish plans? With the way that we do church today, this ideal may not fit, and our pride and higher learning are sure to take a hit. How can we be Christian and declare we know the way? It doesn't hold much water if we're all talk and we don't pray. Will America pray? Does she remember how? Will she begin today? Yeah, we're talking now. Will her knees still bend? Can her heart still ache? Are there any left who are still awake? We all know she has a lot to say, but the question is, will America pray? Basically, you don't need to hear from me. I just got a few little words and a few little songs. You need to hear from God. You and God. So God bless you. He's there. He's waiting. He loves a humble heart. And He will hear you. He will comfort you. He will give you direction in your life. He will give you a new life if you're listening and you don't even know who He is. You just break down and talk to Him. Say, God, I've made a mess of my life. Jesus, who are you? I need you. And God will never turn down a prayer like that because He loves you. You're special. He made you. He didn't make any mistakes. God loves this world. Sometimes you wonder if we love Him. But He sure loves us. It's a wonder He hasn't wiped the place out a long time ago. He's a pretty merciful God. Anyway, God bless you.